So, first thing, if we look at these two now, if I ask the question, which one of these two is a short shot, I would be pretty well, okay, which one of those two is exactly the one on the right hand side there, okay? Because this one here now, you've got a nice narrow stance, your weight is favouring that front side, you see your left leg is kind of straight, your right leg is sort of kinking a little bit there, okay? And the club now is nicely, as we said, ball position now is just back of centre because your feet have moved as they have. And again, looking at where the mat is pointing there, you're more lined up to your target, as opposed to this one, feet were aiming out to there, the club was aiming over there, big wide stance. And the problem was, when you get the big wide stance, it will encourage a big swing. And the problem is, as we said, the golf swing is a circle, okay? Depending on where you stop on that circle, if you stop the golf club here, or here, or here, or here, or there, if you go back to there, the ball goes 10 yards, 20 yards, 30, 40, whatever. So the length you go back will determine how far the ball goes. But if you hit a golf ball that goes too far, and the problem is on a golf course sometimes, you may not hit a pitch shot of 50 yards, you might play it if you play the button, for example. Say you hit a tee shot and then a second shot, you might have a 50-yard shot on the first on the button. But there's a pretty good chance on the second you're not going to have a 50-yard shot. Yeah. The third hole, probably not. The fourth hole, maybe not. So it could be 5, 6, 7 holes later when you have that 50-yard shot again. Right. So then your brain's like, the last time on the first I went a bit too far. Okay, I'll just hit it softer. Yeah. And then we duff it 10 yards in front of us. Yeah. Okay, so you're not actually creating a certain specific length for the swing. You're just trying to judge or guess, for want of a better word, okay, how hard to hit it. Yeah. And that's a recipe for disaster, because the same as if you're going to throw a ball, if I said throw a ball to that basket, you wouldn't have a 5-yard run up and the arm way back here and then just go, ooh, you'd be sort of just an underarm throw and chuck it that way. If your life depended on getting it close that back, you'd have the right length and throw it in. And there'd be a gentle acceleration, so your arm's not going to go and slow down and release. It's just through. The same way, if I'm back here, I still accelerate through it. Because I've created more power, I create more speed. So don't feel the swing, did I swing that? You had that, the first one you hit, was that a bit soft with the swing? We kind of want to be soft. We want the ball to go less distance, don't we, really? Yeah. So by creating less of a backswing, it creates less power. And if you look how far your body on this one actually did use a big, even on there, there's still quite a big sway on that one there. The club catches the ground behind the ball. If we look at this one here now, so go back to where that backswing was, up there. So that's probably almost halfway. That's just a long swing. You look at the length of this backswing, okay, there. How much short that arm's there, down there, lot smaller swing. I mean, your club, if we sort of just clear the lines, look at those difference in swings. That club is up there a good, couple of feet above your head. The clubs are there, it's not even got above your shoulders. No. So it's a lot shorter swing and a lot less sway. So when you come back to the golf ball, because you've created less power, you hit the golf ball now with a smaller finishing swing. So the circle is sort of, or the half circle, I guess, is equal. Whereas this one, there's a big movement. I mean, look how much movement your head's going from there to there. There's a lot of movement, and that's why the shot simply went 70 yards. So if you're looking for a shot that wants to go 70 yards, there's your swing. Yeah. But if we were trying to go, you had 50 yards, and very often people have difficulty trying to hit the ball shorter. Hit it 100%, fine. You can hit a 7-9, 110 yards. You can hit a driver, 150, 60 yards, whatever. But trying to judge how far it needs to go, that is a skill in itself. And the example I've given, and have done the last sort of few years or whatever, if I had a pint glass here with water or beer or whatever, and an empty glass here, so okay, right, pour that into that glass, no problem. We could do that quite capably, okay? However, if I said pour 36% of that beer into the glass, how much would that be? You wouldn't know how much to tilt it, how fast, how long to pour it for. Now, if you were someone who's quite skilled at doing that, and you could pour that over time, you get good at that. You know, okay, I've got to pour it at this angle for that length of time, done. And that is whatever percentage, okay? But it's, again, when there's a judgment required, it takes more skill. When it's 100%, done. When you're whacking as hard as you can, no problem, okay? And again, very often when you're getting closer to the flag, your target's a lot smaller than it. The hole's only 4.5 inches, the green's a lot smaller, the fairways are quite big and wide and stuff. So if we can get that swing and the understanding of how far the swing needs to, and that swing there, all that there is going to give you 50 yards. That's enough for a 50-yard swing, as we saw. I mean, look, these were landing at 45-ish. Yeah. Bit around the golf course, you're going to get some run this time. Even this time you're on the green, that's going to run out to your 50-yard shot. You look at this one here now, There's a lot more movement for one in the body. The feet are moving a lot more than you want to, because again, with a wide stance, you encourage a big movement. Just too much power. So when you hit the first shot, it's good. This was a great strike, and it went sort of 70 yards. But then your next one to try and cure that wasn't a shorter swing. It was the same length swing, just slower, and you duffed it. When you try and slow the swing down, hitting the ground behind the golf ball. Does that kind of make sense? So think of it as long shots, short shots. For short shots, you've got a short setup near the golf ball. For long shots, you've got a wide setup and a longer setup.
Right.
When you don't want a short shot, don't set up in the long shot setup. Sure. The same way we say kicking a football. Yeah. You wouldn't try and pass the ball 5 yards with a 10-yard run up and a run at the ball and a big backlift. Yeah. Likewise, you wouldn't try and kick it 50 yards by standing by the ball and just hitting it as hard as you could. Right. Okay, so you kind of establish a position to judge the distance. Okay, right. Have a couple more then, and then we'll see how we can do in judging those shots. Try and go for the red flags now. Okay, for a different target.